It's a privilege to be here to recap on what's been a massive FY25 and what we've got planned for FY26. For those of you that I've not had the opportunity to meet, my name is Josh and I'm the CTO of ELMO Group. Last year, I stood up here and spoke to this slide. I think it's a really good jumping off point. So what did we speak about last year? We spoke about UI and UX, citing that a large amount of our feedback, customer feedback, was centered around modernizing our UI and UX. We spoke about the want to have a mobile application, and that mobile application would need to have learning, leave, and profile management. We spoke about expanding our data and analytics functionality. We spoke about our AI roadmap and what's upcoming, and we've made a lot of progress here. We spoke about our payroll ecosystem and floated the idea of having bidirectional synchronization with payroll providers. We spoke about the need to have position management, and that is to manage your staff not only by the people who currently hold the roles, but the ability to disaggregate the role and the person to allow for planning, job sharing, and budgeting. We spoke about the product prioritization process and the ability for customers, you, to directly feed into that process. And as always, we spoke about security and technology excellence. We've made substantial progress on each and every one of these items, and I want to take you through the highlights. First and foremost, our goal for FY25 was to engage deeply with our customers, deliver on their biggest pain points, and as such, we've focused a lot of our time on the core modules. So what are some stats? We've performed over 133 feature improvements. We've delivered over 200 pieces of customer feedback, and this was all underwritten by our engineering team who has done over 500 software releases. Some highlights. We've begun our ambitious goal of refreshing the UI and UX for the entire HRIS. We've recently released login, dashboard, and org chart. We've enhanced our rich text editors to enable AI content generation. We're about to release our AI assistant, embedded into the HRIS directly. This is to help you get answers to the questions that you're asking in the context of the operation you're trying to perform. And we'll talk about this in detail shortly. We've released our position management system. If you're not already on this, please do speak to your AM. We've implemented e-signatures in the contracts module. We're about to pilot our AI headhunting and sourcing. And I'll do a deep dive into this as part of our AI. We've introduced 3 new payroll providers with full bidirectional synchronization. Again, if you're able to, please take advantage of this and do speak with your AM. We've developed our MVP mobile application for learning, with much more coming down the pipe on this one. And we've introduced multiple contributors in performance. This is really only the beginning. What we've really done is fundamentally reshaped and reformed our teams and our architecture to be able to deliver on these insights at a much faster cadence. And you're seeing the early evidence of that now. This will only accelerate from here on in. So what are our focus areas for FY26? We coalesce around 3 themes: user experience, HR ecosystem and connectivity, and strategic HR led by AI. User experience. We're going to continue on our UI and UX modernization program to bring you the most intuitive UI in the market. This will ultimately make our products much easier to achieve the outcomes you're trying to do. We want to expand our mobile capabilities. The focus of the mobile experience is on the end user. This means lowering the friction bar for your employees to engage with the HRIS platform. And we've heard your feedback around optimization of data flows. This is around making sure we're not asking for the same information more than once, particularly when it comes to intermodule communication. HR ecosystem and connectivity. We've put a lot of focus in the last year on payroll capability and have as such built out a really robust payroll exchange strategy, whereby we can plug into a growing list of payroll providers and synchronize data both ways between payroll and the HRIS platform. But this did come at the cost of other non-payroll integrations. This year, we'll see a return to the focus on marketplace integrations. Strategic HR partnerships. The rise of AI in both the macro environment and within our platform is set to continue. We'll be focusing on bringing this powerful technology to your fingertips, and I will deep dive into this shortly. An area we've looked at over the last few months and will be coming to you in early FY26 is around HR data and analytics. We see this as a huge opportunity to use the plethora of data that we have in the platform to make it far easier to interrogate and apply some AI to help your HR departments identify trends and statistics in real time. In line with the HR industry benchmark report, there are two key themes I wanted to deep dive into today: artificial intelligence in the ELMO platform. While I'm going to focus on the upcoming ELMO products in the AI space, I want to note that this is not the beginning of the journey with AI for ELMO. We've released some really helpful AI features, particularly when it comes to content generation in the platform. What you're seeing here is the next evolution of that. In addition, ELMO has taken advantage of AI internally. We're using it fairly extensively within software engineering, contributing to an increase in our ability to develop and maintain our technical stack, ultimately being able to deliver features faster. UI and UX modernization. We've made a lot of progress in the last 9 months on UI and UX, and we'll continue. I'm going to recap on the achievements and what's coming down the pipe in the very near future. AI in HR isn't about replacing the human touch. It's about unleashing the power of HR by automating routine tasks so we can focus on nurturing talent, building culture, and driving strategic innovation. I was putting these slides together for this presentation, and I decided to ask an LLM to help me find some inspirational quotes about AI. Isn't it funny how quickly AI has become part of our lives already? This is not a revolution that's beginning. It's well and truly underway, and it's impacting each and every one of us now. Before we launch into AI products, I thought it prudent just to pump the brakes for 1 second and talk about security. As you know, ELMO is ISO certified and takes our responsibility as the custodians of your data extremely seriously. There are a few considerations that we need to think about when we're developing AI tooling. We're basing these considerations on the EU AI Act, a flavour of which is under consideration by the Australian Parliament. Currently, the Australian government has done a parliamentary inquiry into the future of work and produced 10 voluntary AI safety standards. They all deal with very similar issues and can be broadly summarized as such. Data protection and governance. This is a consideration on where data is held and will it be held securely. ELMO are choosing to work with technology that will house all data onshore and ensure that data will be held securely. That's both in transit and at rest. Model security. This is centered around how the AI models actually work. A key requirement for us is model explainability. For lack of a better phrase, we need to understand the logic process the model undertook to arrive at the outcome, and we need to understand it to ensure that we can remove biases and hallucinations. Monitoring and incident response is directly tied into our risk management. We have monitoring and response plans in place should there be any issues with our AI. Compliance and policy alignment. This is a rapidly changing environment. ELMO will be compliant with any policy changes in the AU and NZ landscape. Human oversight and transparency. In the platform, we are clear on when AI is being used, and we always keep humans in the loop. We're using AI to make your lives easier, but ultimately, it will be up to the users to accept or not the recommendations that AI is making within the ELMO platform. As a proof point on our commitment to security, ELMO will be seeking the newly established ISO 42001 certification, focusing exclusively on AI. This certification is designed to meet all of the requirements we just spoke about, and as far as we're aware, we'll be one of the first group of companies in Australia with this certification. So let's get into the cool stuff. Hiring people is often an expensive process. When you're recruiting for roles and you have too many candidates, how do you know where to focus your time? And what we see in practice is there will be a few people in the organization that manually go through the applications one by one until they find enough candidates to push through to interview. This means you might be leaving the best candidates on the table because they're further down the list, or you're spending a huge amount of time going through all of the candidates. We're in the final throes of building out our AI candidate ranking. This process will review the candidate's application plus a host of other data that can be obtained and ranks that application against the requisition. It will then produce a score for each application, allowing the recruiter or the hiring manager to prioritize the candidates that most match the role. In line with our model explainability, we've given details on how the score is calculated. This is calculated over a number of variables. We're aiming to have this out in the wild in Q1, pending a pilot. In an effort to support our customers better, we're introducing an AI assistant into the platform. Our services team have put in a monumental effort over the last few months to refresh over 700 support articles. From there, we've trained an AI assistant on those articles. This means you can now ask questions of the AI assistant in the context of the operation you're trying to perform. On top of this, we have a robust process of reviewing the type of questions being asked of the AI assistant. And where there is not a good answer, we'll build out further help desk articles or tune the AI. This feature is in pilot now, and the first version of this will only be available for administrators. Stepping forward, we're going to open this up to all users on the platform. This will include what information is relevant to each user based on their role, security profile, and company purchase modules. While this AI assistant is currently scoped to help desk, we intend on extending this capability over FY26. Some areas we see or we're looking to improve on is around policy querying. UI and general user experience comes across as a legacy program that hasn't been updated. The interface could be more modern and user-friendly. This is a quote from our customer NPS survey that was recently completed. We got a lot of this type of feedback and we're investing to resolve it. So what have we done? We've built out a new team, we've built out our foundational system architecture, and we've delivered on a few key pain points for our customers. From here on in, we'll begin to release new updated UI for our customers at a faster and faster cadence. One thing we've learned along the way is that our customers want to have a play with the new UI before it gets released. Right now, we're developing the ability to have a preview function that will allow administrators to view the changes a few weeks in advance of the product being released. This, in combination with all of our other forms of communication, should give you the ability to be prepared and hopefully just a little bit excited about the upcoming changes. So what have we actually released when it comes to UI and UX modernization? And what's coming up next quarter? This will be coming out in Q4, just before the end of financial year for those operating on the June financial year. You will have the ability to use either the older version or the new version. Looking a little further ahead, my team and my profile are two big pieces that are due to drop in Q1. They both include a general uplift of the user interface. Some key capabilities we gain with user interface and user experience enhancements are speed. Obviously, we can build things a lot faster. All of the user interfaces are mobile responsive, all of the user interfaces were CAG AA compliant, and all of the endpoints are mobile accessible. We plan on a quarterly cadence, running one quarter ahead of the current quarter. We communicate the forward-facing roadmaps every quarter, highlighting the upcoming commitments. To give you a longer view on the roadmap, looking out past September, we are likely to do documents, forms, onboarding, and potentially survey and learning. The order will be confirmed and communicated through quarterly updates. Last year, I stood up here and spoke about our mobile application. The mobile application is designed primarily as an employee experience. It's deliberately not designed to be an all-singing, all-dancing mobile application. The purpose is the mobile application is to help your staff interact with the HRIS platform quickly and efficiently to achieve the desired outcome. As such, learning was a great place to start. We've heard from our customers, particularly customers who don't have employees in front of a computer all the time. This is a huge win. We released our learning application at the end of last year, and since then, there has been a series of updates. Our next two milestones are leave, which was the biggest piece of customer feedback with regards to mobile application. This was a complex one, but we have not shied away from it. Next quarter, we'll be releasing leave capability in the mobile application. What you're seeing on the right is a beta application highlighting leave. Our third biggest ask was around the ability to manage your profile in the mobile application, and that's hot off the heels of leave and due to be released in Q1. We will continue to invest and listen to our customers and prioritize the next suite of releases into FY26, and this will be communicated through our quarterly updates. ELMO has and will continue to embrace AI so that your lives are easier. We are constantly seeking customer feedback and applying it to our product. Last year, we introduced our customer portal at this very meeting. This portal is the cornerstone of an improved consultative process. We've been posting what we're considering working on, what's currently under development, and what we've recently released. I'm really proud to say that from a target of delivering 100 pieces of customer feedback in FY25, we've done 200 plus year to date, and there's still a few months to run. We want to be partnering with you to allow us to build out the features that impact your business the most. By upvoting others' features or creating new ones, you're feeding directly into the product development process. So please do get involved. I've put a QR code here. If you can scan it, that'll take you straight to the portal. Thank you.